Take a look at this sentence. I don't have much or many money. I don't have much or many money. What is the correct answer? Do you know? Well, the correct answer is much. I don't have much money. Okay, now take a look at this sentence. How much or many credit cards do you have? What do you think? Much or many? Well, here the answer is many. How many credit cards do you have? Okay, now why is that? Why do we use much sometimes and many other times? Do you know? Well, in English, we have two kinds of nouns, okay? Countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Countable means you can count them, right? Like, for example, fingers, right? How many fingers do you have? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 fingers, right? Well, some people would say you only have 4 fingers and a thumb. 4 fingers and a thumb. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the thumb is a finger? Let me know down there in the comments if you think the thumb is a finger, or is it something different? I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things, okay? So, fingers are countable nouns because you can count them, right? What about skin? What about your skin? Can you count your skin? No, you can't count your skin, right? It's all one piece, right? You can't count it, right? So that would be an uncountable noun, right? So I would say, how many fingers do you have? Because it's countable. And how much skin do you have? How much? I can't say how many skin do you have. That doesn't make sense, okay? Now, what about hair? What about hair? Do you think that's countable or uncountable? Well, this is a little bit tricky because, I mean, technically, you can count your hair. Right? If you had a lot of time, you could count your hairs. But you know what? In English, it's just always singular. It's singular, which means it's uncountable. Okay, so we don't say how many hairs do you have? We would say how much hair. How much hair do you have? I have too much hair on my body. Okay, I could say that. It's true. I have too much hair on my body. I am hairy. Okay, now take a look at this sentence here. How much or many time do you spend with your family? What do you think? How much or many time do you spend with your family? Well, the answer is much. How much time do you spend with your family? Because time is like a concept, right? We can't count time. That doesn't make sense, okay? But look at this. What about this? How much or many times do you go golfing every year? How much or many times? What do you think? Well, here it's many. How many times do you go golfing every year, right? Because you can count the number of times, right? You would say, I go golfing 5 times every year. Okay, so this word here, times, is different than this word here, time. Okay, they're different. So try to remember that. Pay attention to that, okay? It's not how much times, how many times, and how much time. Okay, look at the S. You need that S is very important. Okay, take a look at this. I don't have much or many information about that. I don't have much or many information. Which one do you think? Well, the answer is much. I don't have much information about that because information is like sort of a concept. You can't count information. It's an idea, right? Take a look at this sentence. How much or many kids are you guys planning to have? What do you think? If you are, visiting your, I don't know, your friends or your brother or sister or something like that, you could ask your friend and his wife, how many kids are you guys planning to have? How many kids are you guys planning to have? Okay, so here the answer is many, because kids is plural. Okay, kids. We can count the kids, right? It's something that can be more than one, right? Now, if it's just one kid, if you know they're going to have one kid, then you can't say many. How many kid? So in this case, because it's countable, we can't use much. We have to use many. We have to use many, okay? So that would be a question you could ask. In your culture, is it okay to ask this question? Is it okay, or is this question rude or strange? Here in our culture, it's fine. A lot of friends will ask, they'll talk about it. They'll say, how many kids are you guys planning on having? Oh, we want to have 3 kids, or we just want to have 1 kid, or something like that. Okay, but let me know, in your culture, would this be like really bad to ask, or would it be okay? All right, so take a look at this sentence. There are 2 tourists in this city. There are 2 much or many. What do you think? Well, look at the word tourists. Can we count the tourists? Yes, we can. So there are 2 many tourists in this city. But take a look at this. There is too much tourism in this city. Here, it's much. There is too much tourism. Why? Why is that? Well, because tourism is an idea, right? It's a concept. You can't count tourism. You can count tourists, right? Ooh, that guy's a tourist. Definitely. He's got his camera around his neck, taking pictures of everything. He's definitely a tourist. Okay. Now, another thing I want to mention is look at that verb there. There is too much. But look at this. There are too many tourists in this city. Why is it are here and is there? You notice a difference? The verb changes too, along with the word. Okay, so we can predict which word we need to use based on the verb. Okay, so look at this example. There weren't very... We don't know what the rest of the sentence is. But we don't need to know what the rest of the sentence is, because we already know which one goes in here. There's only one option, and that is many. There weren't very many tourists in the city. Okay, there weren't very many. We have to use this word because of this verb here. Okay, the same would be for this. Okay, there wasn't very much. There wasn't very much. We have to use much because of that word there, wasn't. We can't say there weren't very much snow, for example, right? And we have to, like, if it's a non-count noun, if it's an uncountable noun like snow, for example, then we have to say there wasn't very much snow on the ground. There wasn't very much snow on the ground this morning. Okay, but if it's something that you can count, like rabbits, let's say, then you'd have to say, there weren't very many rabbits outside this morning. There weren't very many rabbits. So you have to know which noun you're going to use to choose the right verb. Okay, so if you know this over here is going to be like rabbits, then you need to use many and weren't. But if you know this word is going to be snow, then you have to use much and wasn't. Okay, does that make sense? It can be a little bit confusing because you have to think ahead to which noun you're going to use. Native English speakers don't think about it. We say it naturally because we already know what we're going to say. If I'm thinking about rabbits, I know I need to use the word weren't. If I'm thinking about snow, then I need to use the word wasn't. Wasn't much snow, weren't many rabbits. Okay. Now, most of the time, English learners use many instead of much. That's the mistake. Okay. So the mistake that a lot of English learners make is they use the word many instead of much. Sometimes they might use the word much instead of many, but usually it's this way, many instead of much. Okay, for example, they might say, I don't have many information about the upcoming trip. I don't have many information. Let's say me and you are planning on going on a trip next week, okay? Next week, and you might say, I don't have many information about the upcoming trip. I don't have many information. Okay, that would be wrong. That would be a mistake, okay? We need much here because information is a concept. We can't count information, right? So I hope this is clear. I hope you understand. Don't worry if you make mistakes like this. You just need to practice and keep learning, right? That's how we learn. We make mistakes and we keep practicing. So if you make mistakes in this area, it's not a big deal. Everybody will know what you mean. And it's really the meaning that matters the most, right? If someone knows what you mean, that's great. This mistake is less important than, for example, the mistake between he and she. That is a very bad mistake between he and she because the meaning can change a lot in that situation, right? But for many and much, it doesn't really change the meaning. Okay, so let's do some homework. How much or many languages do you speak? I want you to answer this question down there in the comments. I won't tell you the right answer. I want you to figure out the right answer. Okay, so let me know how much or many languages you speak down in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.